Hey guys, it's Tarot and Beyond. In today's Pick a Card reading, we are looking at your spiritual career. So whether you have one now or you're looking to develop into one or you aren't sure if you even have one, we're going to be exploring the themes of spiritual work and how that can express specifically through a career. So in today's reading, we're actually doing piles. Normally I don't do that, but I wanted to do that to save time today. Spirit said it was going to work better in this format. So if you want to pick with the piles, that's fine. We also have some crystals here at the top. So group number 1, we have the Choku Reiki symbol. Group number 2, we have the Seiheki Reiki symbol. Group number 3, we have the Honshaze Shonen Reiki symbol. Okay, so select whichever symbol or group feels like it's calling to you. Use the timestamps in the description box or the chapter notes to jump ahead to your chosen reading or readings, and we will see you there. All right, hi group number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose this particular pile and the Choku symbol. So this is the power symbol in Reiki, and we use this when we are clearing something, charging something up, protecting something. It's very powerful. It can be used in a multitude of different ways. I usually use it when there's something that needs to be cleared, and then afterwards as a protective seal once we've done the bulk of the work. So there could be something in your spiritual career about protection or charging or using a lot of powerful energy to create a way forward is kind of what I'm getting already. So let's take a look at your cards. We have Oracle and Tarot. There's only a couple Tarot cards in here, but let's take a look and see what you've got. Number 24, new chapter. Okay, you know, the Choku power symbol is also the first symbol that's taught in Reiki in most cases, and so it is a new chapter. I remember when I first learned Reiki, it was definitely a new chapter for me. I went from serving and waiting tables to being a Reiki master and starting my practice within like 6 months. So there's something about this within your spiritual career. You could be entering a new chapter right now, perhaps learning a spiritual skill or trait or unlocking one within you. Tapping into your power is what I just heard. Yeah, tapping into your power. If you're already doing a spiritual career, this is going to be a new chapter of that. So there could be something new that you're doing or that you're called to. I did just get writing as well. For some people here, your spiritual career will involve writing or relaying information through verbal or written word. Okay. Paradigm shift. Yeah, talk about a new chapter. Oh my God, group number 1. This is like a completely new era of your spiritual expression is what they're showing me. I'm seeing crystals being important. She's got this crystal activated in her hand, and these 2 crystals really stood out to me as well, and it reminds me of this one, which I just received for my birthday from my friend Michaela. Thank you so much, Michaela. I love you so much. She sent me a little gift package for my birthday. So there's something about crystals here that could help you to shift your consciousness, or maybe you're working with crystals in your spiritual career, writing about crystals, using crystals for healing. They said power up. I heard the words power up. So there's something about crystals that can power you up as well. They give you energy. They help you focus your energy, specifically quartz crystals I'm seeing. Working with crystal healing could be something. Yeah, I keep getting that. Crystal healing or crystal activations. Some of you may work with Lemurian seed crystals. That could be important as well. And they hold information for you for this new chapter. So perhaps buying new crystals or allowing those to come into your life, sometimes they're given, will activate you to this new chapter. Okay. We have peace. And I heard world peace in my head, and now they're showing me the scene from Miss Congeniality when all of the contestants are being asked, you know, what is your greatest desire or something? What is your wish? And they're like, world peace, world peace, world peace. But as a light worker, and we're talking about spiritual careers here, that really is the goal, isn't it? World peace. But we do have to develop that within the self. Now, I'm noticing this egg very strongly. And I looked up and it was 333 on the recording time. So this is confirmation of alignment. And there's something about this new birth. Like you've got new chapter, paradigm shift, and the egg, which all talk about something being born for the first time, and the Chokurei. So all of it is pointing in the direction of something new that you are going to be doing, learning, applying, unlocking within you, or, you know, revamping yourself in this shift, in this new chapter. Okay, we have the Advocate. Okay, it did come up reversed, which can mean the shadow attribute, but we're going to look at both here. So the Advocate, the light attribute, inspires you to put compassion into action, and the shadow attribute is embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. But I'm actually seeing it as this being contested against, or like you're protected. I'm seeing something about protection here again. It's like this bubble. And that's what I see when I use the Chokurei. It actually does create a bubble around the client or around myself if I'm using it on myself, and it creates that protective barrier. So there's something about not allowing negative causes to stop you from doing what you're doing, or perhaps you're advocating against these negative causes, or this paradigm shift puts you into this more altruistic perspective where you're looking for world peace rather than for personal gain. That's kind of what I'm seeing. But you're definitely an advocate for world peace, perhaps, because that was what came through so clearly. And this could be the paradigm shift. This is something to do with that new chapter. Rose. Look, okay, the first thing that's really jumping out to me is the dove in both of these. The dove is the sign of peace. And I actually had a dream about a dove last night, so this definitely feels super profound. The dove can also be a messenger of God. I see the dove as a symbol to represent the messenger of God, an advocate for peace, an advocate for the God consciousness, an advocate for unity. And air here in Paradigm Shift is about communication, and we were talking about chapters, writing, communicating, speaking. So this is messenger energy, group number 1. You're here to be a messenger. I looked up and it was 555. Yeah. Massive paradigm shift, huge change, transition, divinely guided intervention is what they're telling me. And it's like you're being put into an entirely new landscape, because they just showed me the field that this egg is sitting in, this empty field. And it's like you're being put into sort of uncultivated territory or unfamiliar territory. And then you're going to create something out of that. You're going to be able to plant some seeds and then harvest that growth. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah, look, the seeds planted and they grew. So, and there's something about love being important here. The love of God could be love through relationships, but I'm seeing it like, you know, the white and the black hand here. It's like merging of opposites, uniting, creating peace amongst the people, you know, different races being able to get along, different beliefs and philosophies being able to get along because we all come together through love. And advocating for that is part of your spiritual career, group number 1. At least that's what it looks like here. That's what I would say. St. John's wort, radiance. You are definitely meant to radiate, okay? You are meant to shine. You are not meant to hide your light. You are not meant to dampen down this message, okay? Group number 1, you need to say it loud and say it proud. I did just get a message about advocating for personal rights or sexual liberation or gender, like LGBTQ. Somebody in this group may have affiliations with that, or you may be called in that direction. So creating peace between, you know, different groups of people who have different ways of living, different lifestyles, and really committing to that cause. Because it's close to your heart. There's something here about whatever you're speaking about or whatever you're doing and advocating for. It's because it's very close to your heart. It's probably something that you've experienced either oppression personally, or you've struggled with through your own life and you had to overcome it. And now what you're doing is advocating so that other people don't have to struggle like you did. And so that you can create this paradigm shift, not just in your own life, but on the earth, in the human collective, around the world. Like, this is a very big spiritual purpose that we're talking about here, which goes much further outside of the bounds of simply spiritual career. This is a purpose, and it's very close to your heart, is what I'm seeing. Okay, let's see what else. Open your heart to love. You have Jesus here. Wow. Yeah, talk about a big purpose. Jesus was the messenger. Jesus was the messenger of God. And I do associate his energy with the dove as well. And you had that here twice. So you are like this Lamb of God, group number 1, and you're here to create peace. You're here to be the bridger of the worlds, is what they just said. So yeah, you're a medium. You're probably very intuitive, compassionate. Sorry, my upstairs neighbors are banging around up there. But there's something about like planting these seeds of peace and bringing people together from opposing factions or different ways of thinking. That's exactly what Jesus did. He literally united the people through the energy of love and peace and compassion. And he did create a paradigm shift that is still going on, 2,000 plus years later. So this is kind of like the Christed mission is what I'm seeing. Like your spiritual career will probably align some way to that Christed archetype. Doesn't mean that you are Jesus, you have to walk in his shoes. It just means that there's similarity in the process, or there's similarity in the goal, right? It is about world peace. It is about connecting the people. It is about liberation, and speaking that truth and doing some kind of healing work is going to be part of that. It's like spreading the love, King of Cups reversed. Okay, King of Cups is the love energy, and it's also healing. I'm getting emotional healing could be part of this spiritual career, and spiritual healing as well. Energy healing, because we did mention using the choker ray symbol. But there's something here that is or has been blocking it, and I think that's why this new chapter is kind of calling you forward, is because there's something, maybe an attachment to personal gain or a fear that your needs won't be met and that you'll have to martyr yourself and sacrifice to create this kind of positive change in the world. And there's something about that they want to remove from your mind and from your energy field, is actually what they're showing me clairvoyantly. So there's something in your DNA or in your blueprint that needs to be removed when it comes to this martyr archetype. Can be a crucifixion implant. If you guys aren't familiar with that, I would check out Ascension Glossary. Spirit has been directing me there a lot more often than not lately. They'll give me words, phrases, images, and then they'll tell me, look it up there. And it's like, whoa, my mind is blown. So there's something about that they want you to understand, and that will get you free from this fear of committing to this full bore, or to some of those programs of personal gain, or whatever this is. Ace of Cups, because it's really not about the gain. It's about peace, and it's about love. Like, this is the purpose. This is the career path. This is what you're meant to be doing. It's to do with healing. So whether you're writing and that inspires people and creates peace and unity and heals people, or whether you're actually doing spiritual healing work or emotional counseling or something like that, you are meant to open your heart to love. You are meant to be an advocate for love. They just said actually an example of love. Like, you are meant to be an example of love. And I've used this term before in some other readings, but I'll use it here because it's so relevant to this spiritual career for you, Group 1, is being a love leader. In the spiritual community, or in even like just the online social media community, a lot of the time people will say thought leader. Like, people are thought leaders. I prefer the term, and I don't know if I coined it, but I thought of it as love leader. We need to be love leaders. We need to be leaders who embody that essence of compassion and peace within us to create this paradigm shift. And if you're on my channel and you were drawn to this reading, and you're drawn to a spiritual career, you have one now, or you're called to it, you are most likely a light worker, a light warrior, a grid worker. I mean, all of the above are kind of the same thing, different ways of saying it, but it's like, you are here to be the change in the world. And we have to do that through the change that we make within ourselves, right? We have to be able to own it. We have to embody it. And that becomes the process through which we're able to help others. So group number 1, if I had to summarize, I would say that you are going through a massive change right now. You might be called to do some energy healing for yourself, or to receive it from another person, because this will help to clear out some of these martyr archetype or crucifixion implants that may have been impeding you in your spiritual work and in your spiritual career. And I see you going through a massive shift where you are here to bring peace and love to the world and advocate in your pure light how positive that can be. And so I think that I do see that you will do a lot of healing work for others, emotional healing through love, healing through relationships, healing through the physical body. A lot of, all of these different layers of healing are what I'm being shown here. So this could be another aspect of the new chapter, is that you're called to do some kind of healing for the world, which will create peace. Okay, so that's what I see for you, group number 1. If you feel called to any of the other groups, check those out as well, because there can be multiple layers to our spiritual careers. It's not always one thing. Sometimes we have multi-gifts, multi-talents, or multi-contracts at soul level that we're meant to fulfill. So use your intuition, trust yourself, and I wish you the best in your spiritual career, and we'll see you in the next reading. All right, hi group number 2. Welcome to your reading. You chose this particular pile and or the Seihei Ki symbol. And Seihei Ki is really great for calming and releasing. I like to use Seihei Ki when there's something that needs to be unlocked. It's kind of like a key to the consciousness or key to the soul. So when I'm doing healing work or energy healing in this way, Seihei Ki is great for basically telling the soul non-verbally, you have the key within you. And this energy is going to help you unlock that. Because as healers, we don't ever heal anyone else. We give them the energy, the resources, the information, the peace, the love, whatever they need to be able to heal themselves. So nobody heals others. Everyone heals themselves and helps each other to heal themselves. Since I was called to mention that, that could be something to do directly with this spiritual career of yours, group 2. So let's keep that in mind as we look at the cards. Walk your truth. Okay, so I'm seeing authenticity being very important in your spiritual career or your spiritual purpose here, group number 2. So I just saw 111 on the recording time. I'm seeing you being an activator, and walking in your truth is activating other people. It's giving them access to their own truth. I do see Seihei Ki as an energy of truth. So this very much kind of correlates. I see you being the embodiment of that, the example of that truth, not being afraid to say what you feel, not being afraid to speak on what you believe to be true. So I'm seeing you trusting your process. Okay, let's see what else. Radical expansion. Wow. Radical expansion, group number 2. So your career is to expand how people think. I think that you're a truth speaker or truth communicator in some way. And I did mention non-verbally, so it doesn't have to be through words. It can be through your just pure state of being. Like when you walk the talk, that radiates from your energy field. That is the signature that you create. And I've said this in other readings before too. People are portals. Okay, like everybody exists within their own reality bubble. I saw 222. Okay, you're getting 111, 222. So there's like progression forward, radical expansion. Yeah, talk about radical expansion. But people are energy portals. And so when we listen to someone, when we walk with someone, when we talk with someone, when we hug someone, when we spend time with that person in any extended way, we are entering into their reality bubble. And if you exist at a higher truth, octave, that is going to be the portal that you open for others. And when they listen to you, when they connect to you, when they hang out with you or spend time with you or work with you, you are giving them access to this radical expansion. That's actually what I do as an activator. Like my job here is not just to be a reader. I am a messenger of God. I am a healer. I am an activator at soul level, and I get people onto different timelines that are more aligned with them through the healing that I provide. So I see something along this line for you as well, group number 2. You help people to radically expand by walking in your truth and giving that access point to others in some way. Yeah, you give people a leg up, whether you're doing it practically or not. Energetically, you're doing it. So this is part of your spiritual career. And, I'm seeing like coaching in this group for some reason. I'm seeing people calling and you talking to people or sharing some kind of truth. I'm seeing like Zoom calls. I don't know if this is relevant, but that's the example they're giving me. So it's like this idea of if you spend time with these people or allow them to interact with you personally, you give them a leg up. You help them to radically expand their consciousness at multiple different levels, because the dragon here talks about DNA. It can talk about 12th dimensional consciousness and above. So we're talking about very high level truths here that you're able to give people access to and then give them a leg up so that they can climb to that level and achieve that for themselves. You might be teaching people information too, right? Giving them the resources they need knowledge-wise. I just heard the word knowledge base. Yeah, knowledge base. You have a wide knowledge base about something, group number 2, and you're meant to share that because it, like I said, it helps people, it expands them, and it allows you to continue doing what is right for you, what feels like your truth. Oh, beautiful. You have, this is actually one of the cards that I created. It's from the Caroline Myss archetype stack, but she leaves blank cards in there, and I felt called to create this one. And it's the fairy archetype. So the light attributes are innocent, magical, gentle, helpful, kind, loving, and ethereal. And the shadow attributes are careless, distractible, mischievous, manipulative, or indulgent. I'm seeing it because it came up upright in the light attribute. So I think that your energy signature is very soft. That's another thing with Seiheki. It's very soft. It's very gentle. And it promotes like this energy of peace and just being able to relax and then being able to tap into that truth because the whole system is more relaxed. So there's something about you helping people here, but doing it in a way that is very kind, very loving, very ethereal, very gentle. Like you create radical expansion, but in a way that's very gentle and innocent somehow. Yeah, it's like the fluffy little polar bear here. It's beautiful. So I'm getting like mothering and nurturing energy here as well. A lot of helpfulness. Like you're a very helpful person, and whatever you happen to be doing, you are helping people. You know, you could be working at a grocery store, in one of those quote unquote 3D jobs, and you'd still be helping people because, again, when they interact with your field, you are giving them that leg up beyond words, beyond the knowledge that you're sharing, because it's all stored within your soul blueprint, and you are that portal. And if people are ready, they will walk through that door, and they will thank you for it because they will expand and return home to their true self. Palo Santo Guardian. Ooh, that's powerful. I did just hear Guardian of the Land, so some of you may be grid workers, or you may work with the ley lines on the land, especially if you're called to travel a lot or you move homes frequently. This can be a sign that you're a grid worker. I know I'm one of those. I move like once every 2 years, basically. Like for the past 15 years, I've moved once every 2 years, and it's because I'm placed strategically on the land to clear ley lines, to unpack. A lot of indigenous trauma for me was stored in the land and in my soul blueprint, so I had to work with that. You guys may be called to do things like that as well. So you help the land. You, again, walking the land. You see, again, you're a portal. Your energy is powerful and you are an anchor point. So when you are in specific places walking the land, you walk your truth and you open up these portals, or you clear out these ley lines, and you give the earth a leg up too. So not just people. I see connection to the fairy realm. So yes, definitely nature spirits. Ley line workers can be very much connected to the natural kingdom. The fairy kingdom is very akin to that. It's almost like the same thing, but it's like 2 layers, 2 dimensions of the same energy. Yeah, you're a guardian of the land. Guardian, wow. You have foresight, okay? You have foresight with Coca. So there's definitely truth here to be accessed. The gift of divine truth, when I used to do soul realignment Akashic record readings for years with clients, and every time that I would see the gift of divine truth come out, I'm like, oh, this person has foresight. They're psychic. They're tuned in. A lot of artist type people as well. My secondary gift is divine truth, and I can tell you foresight is definitely part of that. So prophetic dreams, prophecies, channeled prophecies, being able to see clairvoyantly, visually, seeing auras, either with your waking eyes or behind, in the inner eye. So there's a lot here to do with truth and being able to see the truth beyond what is physically there and communicate the truth beyond verbal words. So it's like there's so much deeper truth that you are accessing. Again, I'm seeing her like connecting the sword into the earth or through those roots. And it's like this energy of anchoring this truth into the grid and disseminating that information energetically just through you being there. So walking the land, really important here, I'm seeing. Balance, career, and home life. You have Isis. Okay. So you may work from home in this group, or you may be called to work from home in your spiritual career. And again, I feel like those homes may move or change rapidly, or if you're meant to be in one specific place for a long time, there's also a reason for that. And you're meant to be rooted and anchoring this truth into that location. But I do feel like you're meant to work from home. I'm getting that energy of like homebody, a little bit reclusive, but and needing to be very connected to nature. That's part of your spiritual career. So you may be called to do nature work or working with people from home one-on-one through the internet. Yeah, it could be multiple aspects of these things. As light workers, we're not usually just one thing. We're multi-skilled. We're very old souls. We have a lot of like skills, talents, resources. So we're not usually just relegated to one thing. There's usually a whole sort of spectrum of things that we do. That's what I'm seeing here. So I feel like if you're not in your spiritual career yet, group number 2, then you may be called to transition into it soon, and you're going to get a leg up to be able to do that, and it's going to help you to balance out your life, because maybe working from home will be better for you. Or yeah, they keep giving me the energy of moving homes, and that helping you to shift your energy or something like that, or radically expand you. Maybe moving somewhere that's more in nature or more connected to nature. They're showing me mountains in the background here and mountains in the background here. So could be moving to the mountains. Yeah, I'm seeing mountains in a lot of these. Okay. The mountain can also be a symbol of higher consciousness, higher truth, right? Achieving that higher truth. But yeah, there's something about communication as well. You have the Ace of Wands. Oh, and as soon as I looked up at the camera, it was 11:11 on the recording time. So you guys are getting a lot of 1s and 2s. The Ace, yeah, so a lot of 1s. And the Strength card. Wow. This is such powerful energy. Getting fire sign energy here. You know, this is Leo, and then this is Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. So I do feel travel is important here. Walking the earth is important here. I think part of your spiritual work or part of your spiritual career is going to be twofold: working from home or working mobile. Like being, what do they call those? Like a digital nomad or something? Yeah, so it's like you can roam the land, anchoring these codes into the grid while at the same time doing your work and finding your home everywhere you go, helping people, connecting to nature, facilitating this rapid expansion. You're definitely an activator, group number 2. I saw 1212. Yeah, that's a DNA code activation coding synchronicity. So you guys are activators at soul level. You help people to activate their DNA and to rebirth themselves. You help them to empower themselves. I'm seeing by giving people this leg up through this expansion, you give them the strength, or you activate that strength within them. You're definitely a leader, group number 2, I gotta say. I'm getting that energy very strongly, but you're like a gentle sort of, you may feel more comfortable being behind the scenes, but often those are the people who are called to lead, honestly, right? Like it's the archetype of the hesitant leader. Those are the people who deserve to lead. It's not the people who seek leadership for its own sake, because often those people can be corrupted because they want it for the wrong reasons, because they can tend to be manipulative or self-indulgent. It's the people who don't want to lead that are meant to lead, because you have natural leader abilities, but there's a hesitancy because you know the responsibility that comes along with that, or you know the power that comes with that, because it's kind of two sides of the same coin. I love this saying, with great power comes great responsibility. It's one of my favorite quotes. And so it is true. And I see you being able to handle that though. But you do have to balance out your spiritual work with your own personal life. And I think that's what may be creating resistance here if you've experienced it. It's like knowing and trusting yourself to be strong enough to differentiate between those two things, because I think that there can be this sort of interaction in everything with your life being connected. And so it can be hard to create those barriers. I'm getting sort of like Pisces energy, you know, where Pisces has like no boundaries. It's connected to everything energetically. And so it can be sometimes overwhelming because it is connected to everything. So I do get the sense that this may have at times felt like a heavy burden, group number 2 for you. But you're here as a guardian, and you are very powerful, very strong soul, okay? Very strong soul. And you ride this lion of truth, okay? So be that bold. Look at that's. They just drew my attention to the fact that we have 2 instances here of being on the back of something, right? So it's like you are riding this truth courageously and sharing that, and you also give people a leg up because you're so strong you can carry them. But you don't need to carry the people too much, right? I think I'm just getting this energy of like you need to have like some personal boundaries or spiritual boundaries to make sure that you don't deplete yourself or give too much and then collapse in on yourself. Like you need to continue expanding too, because if you're going to do this work, you need to be that very strong, stable portal for people to get this energy to level up. So you have to take care of yourself and set those boundaries, but follow your passion. Really, truly follow your passion, walk your truth, travel, expand, be an entrepreneur, be a leader, be a guardian of the land, be this expander, this portal for people. That's really what I'm seeing for you, group number 2. But you do it in such a gentle, beautiful, ethereal way. So it is magic. It's really magic I'm seeing from you, group 2. So I hope that you enjoyed the reading. That's what I'm seeing from your spiritual career or purpose. It's very much connected to truth, giving people that advantage through your own energy, activating people, being a leader, being an example at the very least of this higher truth, balancing things out in your life and anchoring that into the land as well. All right, I love you. Thank you so much for being here on the channel. I'm sending you so much love and blessings for your spiritual career. May it be aligned with your greatest and highest truth. I love you guys, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right, hi group 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose this particular pile and the Hanshoze Shonen symbol. So this is a Reiki symbol used for distance healing. It can connect us past, present, future. We can send Reiki energy at a distance. I use this one a lot when we were doing any like past life healing, when I was looking back into the subconscious mind, when I needed to put energy into the future to help with some kind of a future thing that would be challenging for the client. So there's a lot here to do with kind of like being outside of time, or possibly being one of those light workers or spiritual career people who you work with timelines in some way. That's kind of what I'm getting. Or you work at a distance, or you work globally. Let me see. Awaken. Whoa, yeah. I do feel like you unlock something in the earth. I just got that message. You unlock something in the earth, in the collective. You unlock some of these things within yourself, and you probably have a very well-developed third eye as well. So being able to see past lives or connect into history is what they just told me. History. Yeah, I mean, galactic history, they said. And they were showing me, right, yeah. So being able to see the galactic history. You're a starseed, group number 3, for sure. Yeah, your soul comes from the stars, different galaxies, and then you came here. Root chakra, ground and center. Yes, exactly. I was like, you anchor something into the earth. You anchor something. It's root chakra. So you're here to anchor this galactic truth into the earth, or you're awakening something within the earth that helps it to remember who it is. It's like you connect with Gaia, the planet, the consciousness within the planet, and you know this because you're a galactic soul who has connected with other planetary consciousnesses and other solar consciousnesses, or star consciousness. You know, stars, planets, they have life of their own. They are beings. They're just very high level beings. So you connect to and work with Gaia, okay? Truth be told, I'm seeing window to the soul. And removing the mask, or the golden mask of being human, and fully accepting the wisdom of your soul, being able to understand that you are this window into multiple different timelines, that you are the access point through which your galactic truth can shine through. I'm getting wisdom keeper from the owl. Yeah, you're a wisdom keeper. You're a spiritual transformer, they just said. And when I think of Transformers, 2 things came to mind. Number 1 was like the Transformers, like robots in disguise, you know? And technically speaking, yes, they're robots, but they're actually intergalactic, organic material life forms. Like they're organic robots, and they were star seeds as well, if we want to think of it that way. The other thing that I thought of was like an electrical transformer, which is something that regulates electricity. And that's what I was seeing, is like you awaken something, you channel this light frequency, this photonic coding through your galactic DNA into the earth chakra through your root. Yeah, and you unlock this truth. Wow. Mentor, okay, light attribute, passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. The shadow attribute is inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master or imparting false instruction. So I see you being the light attribute here as the mentor. You are a truth teller. You hold galactic codes. They keep kind of harping on that in my mind, and harp could be significant. I was seeing harps yesterday all day. I wrote it down in my synchronicities journal. So there's no coincidence that I just used that turn of phrase. But yeah, there's something about being a mentor here, being a truth speaker or holder, a wisdom keeper. They keep telling me that. You anchor it, you awaken it in other people in the earth. Yeah. Ginkgo, breakthrough, wow. Breakthrough, 444 on the recording time there. You anchor it, you make it stable. You're awakening people and the earth to this higher point of consciousness. The sword is like Excalibur. It's also about truth and communication. So truth being told, communication, and being able to ground and center yourself so you can transmit that information to the right people at the right time and to the earth itself is so crucial in this spiritual career group number 3. I'm also seeing his sleeve. They just drew my attention to his sleeve and highlighted it in my mind. That's how spirit communicates with me and gets me to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And this reminds me of a wizard's sleeve, right? Like Merlin. So there could be something about Arthurian timelines. They were saying history before, right? Yes, Arthurian Grail timelines, something about the Grail, Holy Grail, the round table they're showing me. Yeah, Excalibur I did mention. And there's actual timelines around that. So there's something about unlocking the truths from within that or healing something within that timeline is what I'm getting. Grace, Shisandra, grace, wow. You're here to be this grace. I do see twin flame energy with the 2 swans here too. So you may be one of those souls, those galactic high vibrational souls who did split off into 2. So hierogamic union could be part of your spiritual service. But this goes way beyond career. This goes way beyond. I think the career may be mentorship or just speaking about these histories that you connect to. Like, I'll give you an example. Akashic reading could be one example of that, or just being highly psychic and channeling this information. Yeah, but there's something about the earth. Okay. Find the blessing in your current situation, Krishna. Okay, I think Spirit had me look this up the other day. They were channeling me Vishnu. And I didn't know who Vishnu was, so I had to do a little bit of research. And I think that Krishna was an avatar incarnation of Vishnu, and Vishnu is like the all God. And then he would incarnate and do these like spiritual missions. I'm not 100% sure on that, but there's something about that kind of archetype of being the avatar. I love the show Avatar, The Last Airbender. I'm kind of getting that energy here. It's like Aang, being able to awaken this history of your soul within you and being able to see these multiple lifetimes and even your galactic history and how it all translates into the now of you being able to relay or transmit this information to other people, mentoring people, spreading this grace, giving people breakthroughs, helping the earth to they said enliven and awaken. Yeah, you have the awaken card. So you're like waking up the earth. It's been dormant in certain areas and you're here to bring it back to life through your grace. You walk with grace. You have this avatar consciousness group number 3. Wow. The Emperor. Whoa. 828 on the recording time. That's a significant code. 828. I'm seeing the crystal ball. So yeah, again, I'm getting like magician. I'm getting Merlin energy. I'm getting I keep getting Arthur. The Emperor is just, I'm seeing Arthur in my mind. So there's something about like this Merlin Arthur. Oh yeah, Merlin was Arthur's mentor. Right. In Arthurian legend, in that history. There's something about that archetype. There's something about that they want you to kind of unpack on your own. I don't think we're going to get all the information, but they're giving clues here, okay? Eight of Swords, yeah, so that you can get out of, and I saw 911, and the 911 code can be about spiritual service, mentorship, altruism, but it can also be about the negative timelines of 911. So there's something about healing, like 9/11 timelines, if you know what I mean. Removing the false kings, they said. Yeah, removing the false kings, the usurpers was the word they used. And restoring the earth to its former glory. This is a big spiritual career, group number 3. This goes way beyond just what you're doing in terms of work. This is a big soul mission. This is a big soul purpose that and I feel like you've trained for lifetimes for this. You are not here on a whim. You were chosen to be this role fulfiller. Like, you were chosen to do this mission because you were capable, because you were the one who was qualified at soul level. Like, you were, first of all, you were qualified for it. Second of all, you went through the training program. And then third of all, you were tested. And then you were able to incarnate. And then you were able to start doing this work. So this is really, really big, because this goes into like the whole trajectory of the human race and the planet Earth and the battle for planet Earth and the war that has ensued for millennia because of the negative alien agenda to trap Earth into lower timelines and all of this crap that the draconians and other zetas and the greys have been doing. This is like very high level, and I'm talking about this because I'm not going to hold back this truth from you. First of all, because I feel like if you were drawn to this group, you'll understand it. And if you don't yet, then you will, because you're meant to awaken to this higher level consciousness of what has been going on here in the galactic history and the war in this universe. And you're meant to understand it so that you can stop the war. Even the example I gave of Aang in the last, in the Avatar, the last Airbender, he is the chosen one who is there to master all of the elements and then to be able to stop the war that the Fire Kingdom is waging on the rest of the people, the rest of the benders. So he needs to save the world, basically. And I'm not saying you need to save the world, group number 3. No pressure, no pressure. You're certainly not here alone doing this. There's many of us who are part of this mission. Thousands, millions of us. But there's definitely a big, big purpose here. And that's why they're encouraging you to really ground and center yourself and feel into this and to channel this divine grace, because it does make it easier. You're not meant to do this from a human level. You're meant to transcend your human consciousness and reconnect to your avatar consciousness, because that's how you win this war. It's an internal war. It's a war of the mind. So when you open to this soul consciousness, you're able to embrace and step back into your true authentic power. 12222 on the timing, to overcome the limitations of the mind. Yeah, like in the show, Aang, he doesn't he's like a child, right? But he has to go into the spirit realm. He has to learn a bunch of things. He has to unlock parts of his soul. He has to remember the skills that he had from the past. He has to integrate all of this stuff. And then when he's able to hold all of that and master all of the elements within himself, even though he's a child, he transcends that state of consciousness and he's able to embody the avatar and to do what he's here to do. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here, is like you transcending your human ego and consciousness and being able to channel that avatar awareness of self. And that is the grace that helps you to do this work. And it is big work. So practically speaking, what are you doing? Well, probably mentoring people, probably teaching people in some way, or holding space for people. You're probably sharing this truth or awakening people, speaking truth into people's souls is what they just told me. Yeah, I do see challenges though, it's like when you're a chosen one like this, it's not an easy path. It is a lot of work, and there's a lot of clearing, and there's a lot of integration, and there's a lot of like collective dross that you are dealing with from these timeline splits, these timelines that were infiltrated with negative agendas, all of this crap that you kind of have to weed through. So what they want you to do is focus on the blessings in the current situation, because that gives you access to grace, which allows you to break through and to hold this higher consciousness, ground and anchor it, and then spread that truth. Okay, so if you are being challenged or you're facing up against hard things, stay in your power. Okay, don't let them usurp that power from you by getting you into this lower timeline loop of desperation, fear, lack, hopelessness, pain, suffering. Just know that that's the sort of underneath of what we're trying to get out of here. And so to get out of it, you have to raise your consciousness up and anchor to the higher timeline, which is one that is of truth and grace and sovereignty, like God's sovereign, free. That's what you're meant to be here. That's what you came here to promote and to create as well. All right, group number 3. So that's what I see for your spiritual career. This is a big one. Okay, this is not a lifetime of just living below the line and really kind of just flying below the radar. You're meant to be in a position of power, because we need more people in this integrity to be in positions of power so that we can overthrow the old system. We're like soul rebels, we're here to liberate the earth. So thank you for doing this work. If you are so called, may you do it in alignment with divine grace and your highest consciousness embodied. Thank you so much for being here on the channel. I hope this reading was supportive, helpful, clarifying, or confirming of what you already know at soul level, most likely. I love you guys, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye.